Oh, so hey y'all. So I decided to finally do my podcast, which is for me, and I'm entitling it Sirens. So yeah, this is like my third show that I've done. So I'm hoping this gonna be the final last straw. But I had two chicks with a mic, and then we did Inside a Black Man's Mind. So basically, on both of those, it wasn't what I wanted to create them. Basically, was to share my experience with healing and trauma, and want to help other people heal. But I wasn't really telling my story on the show. I was telling someone else's story. So I decided to basically start this. So I went from Love Lilo to Sirena to Sirena. And so people say, who's Lilo? Lilo was an alias that I had created like a long time ago, like a long, long time ago. And that was to basically hide behind who I really was. Sirena, that was the little girl that was in theater. She was in drama. She was in choir. I did everything creatively you could possibly think of, like everything. Dance. Just like I was in everything. And I was kind of, I'm not going to say I was an outcast, but I was on the creative side. And I was raised around a whole bunch of whites. So, I mean, me being black and me being able to sing alto, soprano, like any class vocally, like I could sing everything. They had me in all of the artsy stuff, but I was still a black girl. So I'm not going to say I had identity issues. I just struggled with finding who I really was. So then I got older and I started playing and stuff, and like makeup and hair and just different things. And I liked it. I love taking really sexy pictures because I was never like looked at that, like I was never looked at as being sexy growing up. I was always really goofy and funny. Like boys did not, I'm not gonna say they ain't like me, but they wasn't really looking my way. Like I was kind of frumpy and real creative like. And so like niggas wasn't checking for me like that. Plus I went to school in a predominantly white area, and all the black dudes that came up there they didn't want me. They wanted something that was different. So whatever, long story short. So I started, showing a little bit of skin, and like at this time, like I'm in, an inner city now, because I didn't move all the way from North Dakota down to where it's more black folks. So now I'm getting looks and heads turning, and I'm kind of feeling some kind of way now. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this little attention. And so like I said, I started photographing like myself. Like I would do it on my camera, and I would play with things. So I never shot professionally with a photographer. Like I never did none of that. So I started really playing into my look and trying to find something that was going to be like me. The hell, I ain't know. So I would pick up hair pieces, wigs. I would just do anything. But I never wanted to do anything that was like anybody else. So once I kind of started settling into a look I always would wear big hair. I would go get sew-ins and stuff and have like 4-5 packs of curly hair. Like I do all of that. That was my look, was just big hair. So cool, I started with that. I started playing into that. Okay, cool, bam. Then I moved to Atlanta, and everything kind of really changes because now I'm in a market where it's predominantly black women. So now I'm really playing into looks. But mind you, I'm still trying to maintain and keep Sirena, the creative Sirena, the nerd, the girl who was in art school and did, like that was me. So now I'm playing into other stuff. And at this point, like I'm getting, my breasts, and I'm knowing how to wear my makeup and knowing how to wear things where my waist can get cinched in. Now I'm really coming for, my look. I'm really settling in. And now, like I'm 33 now, so I'm just now settling in. Maybe like 2 years ago or something. So then it's funny. I go to Italy with my mom for her birthday. Where were we in like Milan or something? And for some reason it's I don't know if it's like a rarity. They don't have like they have people over there with green eyes, but it's just people anytime I go anywhere they look at me strange, kind of like, where are you? Where are you from? Like, what's that? Like, it's just something different. So this man, he complimented my eyes and said, thank you. He said, what's your name? I said, my name is Sirena. And he said, oh. He said, well, how do you spell it? And I said, Sirena. And my mom used to hate it when people would call me Sirena. Your name is Siren. And like, Siren. It's not Serena. It's Siren. I'm like, okay, mom, whatever. So I told him how I spelled my name. And he said, you know what your name means? And I said, no. What do you mean? I didn't know. And he said, well, it means mermaid. Like the sirens. You know what the sirens are, right? And I said, nah. I said, what's that? When I looked it up, and it was mermaids, which is crazy because it was like my favorite movie. Like ever was like The Little Mermaid. But I used to always, like, I loved mermaids growing up. And I said, oh, okay. So I started studying them. And kind of I'm not going to say it became obsessed. It was kind of fascinating. I'm also an Aquarius already, which, it's kind of funny that all of this is, like, affiliated. But, so I started reading up, like, more on, like, who the sirens really were. They were, like, beautiful women. But they were, like... they called them like evil creatures, but they look so beautiful that you just would never guess that. So I don't like to say that that's who I am now, but I mean I am. And so I started reading up more on what sirens were and the history behind it, like Marilyn Monroe, like Cleopatra, all of them were kind of like top sirens. And so I really kind of started playing into, like, my feminine goddess energy, like, so much. And then I just said, oh, that's crazy. I said, well, I guess I really am a damn siren. And so I'm just going to play and live on that. And so now, that I've dibbled and dabbed in other things, I said, okay, now I can finally cancel out who I've been hiding behind all of these years. So now this is the final project, which is me, Sirena, not Lilo anymore. She is done with and she's dead. Lilo, like I said, that was a pretend alias I hid behind because I never wanted to truly be who I was, which is this person right here that's sitting down. So this is me. Like, this is what I like. This is how I am. I love big hair, cat eye makeup. My tits are usually pushed up. I mean, this is just who I am. I love to photograph, take really pretty pictures, pretty sexy pictures. That's just what I live for. I like my nails to look like this. This is me, but also I have so many different sides. I'm a major creative, and a lot of people don't understand that. With me, it's not just like one thing. I photograph, I edit, I sing, I write, I do so much. I have to be so hands-on with my art that it drives me insane because it's like I can only vibe with certain people. I can only, work with certain people. If I tell them something, they get it like that. I don't like to have to over-explain myself too much. Otherwise, I'll just do it myself. But that's the history behind the name. I wanted to have a podcast, which I initially had wanted to do with Inside a Black Man's Mind. And I still love that idea. But that was, like I said, a podcast, a show dedicated to helping the black man heal. And I specifically wanted to target that audience. I mean, all youth, especially, but specifically the black man, because that is who is supposed to run our household, a man. That's how I feel like it should be. There's no structure left in the black household, so we have to get to the root of the problem, which is the black man and what's happening and why are we losing so much structure in our households these days. So I wanted to kind of showcase my healing journey that I've had over this past couple of years. I did therapy for 2 years. I've dedicated my mental health to myself. I mean, it's me versus me at this point, but I'm being so selfish with myself this year that like it's unreal. I'm not even talking to my sister or my mother right now because I take my mental health that serious. And so it's not that I hide behind anything. I'm actually very open about my mental health, but I needed people to basically know and understand who I was first. Like, I can't have a representative show up and speak for me, and that's who's been speaking for me all these years. So now that I'm here and I'm comfortable with y'all knowing, like, this is me, like, my name is Sirena, this is this, I'm not hiding behind an alias anymore. This is what I like. Either you messing with it or you're not, and that's just what it is. I'm not begging people to stay. I'm not that type of person. But this is who I am. I'm not toning nothing down. I'm not doing none of that. This is who I am, like right here. And so with my show, I want to be able to share my story, everything from all my traumatic experiences from childbirth and then up into even what I am now. But I also want to be able to bring other people on my show of youth that I'm cool with who have all started a healing journey or want to heal. Because all of us go through things, and I want it to be not cool to talk about, but I want people to know that it's healthy to talk about things like this and that you're not the only person. You know, the more that you discuss these things, the more you find out there's somebody else that grew up just like you, and the things that we were taught, growing up that we may have thought was correct ain't right or healthy at all. And it's so crazy that it's so common in a predominantly Black household. And so if we're ever going to get right, we have to, end all of these negative and bad cycles. And so first thing to me is talking about it and recognizing the issue or the root of the problem and getting down to that. But before we could do any of that, I needed y'all to know who I was in the background behind the name change and all that other stuff. But now that y'all are able to be more familiar, and now, a lot of people was like, do you even talk? Like, yes, I have a lot of personality. Like I said, I was in theater, speech, all of that, choir. I did everything. But I wanted to be able to share my story under my platform, nobody else's. That was the problem. I was trying to share my story and do tidbits under somebody else's shit. And the whole time it just needed to just be my story, me, and it needed to come from me. That is all for now. I really did. I wanted to let you guys know, like, it wasn't me just making no shit up. Like, nah, this is real shit. Like, there's meaning behind the name. It's for a reason. Like, that's my real name. When you look up what the name means, like, Siren, you'll kind of understand more about me, but also too hearing it come out of my mouth. So I will be filming my next episode probably within like the next week or so, and I'm excited, but I want you guys to really, really get into the hang of things now, because now I'm gonna be showing more sides about me, but also like I'm gonna get real raw, like, and a lot of shit I'm gonna say y'all gonna be like, what? I've experienced so much, I've seen so much, I've creatively done so much, but I've just been holding back. But now y'all gonna see a lot more this year. So I'm excited to share that with y'all. And I know a lot of y'all happy that I'm finally talking and doing videos. Oh, and also another thing, I'm not retiring my photography right now, but I actually kind of exceeded what I had planned to do for my photography. Mind you, what I did, I only wanted to shoot like a couple of people, celebrities, and I ended up shooting double, triple that. But that was just going to be one side of my art that I wanted to showcase, and I have ran its course with that. Now I'm going back onto my other course, which is my show that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Finally, I think we got it right. So until next time.